Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of Ask Coach Marie. I'm Marie O'Neill, founder of Padma Life Coaching and your host on this series. This is the place where you ask a question and I give my unique opinion as a life renewal coach, astrologer, and past life regression facilitator. I'm not a therapist, and I will never tell you what you must do. Each week on Friday, a new episode is released with me answering 2 questions from the viewers. In addition to those questions, I talk about various other life renewal topics. So let's get started with the questions for this week. Our first question comes from Sarah, who is in Boulder, Colorado. Sarah writes, as the new year excitement wears off, I'm realizing I don't just want a new habit. I want a new life. I feel a call to something bigger, but I don't know what it is. How do I find my true purpose in 2026? Thank you for sending that question in, Sarah. It sounds as though you're in the middle or at the beginning of a brand new cycle. And when I say cycle, I mean by age. You didn't, of course, give me your age on here. However, this is what I suspect, which means that it would be good if you could have an astrology reading from a qualified astrologer, which, by the way, does not have to be me. It can be someone in your community, and you may already know an astrologer. So I would recommend that you get a reading from them so that they can talk to you about what is going on with you right now. If you are not someone who wants to have an astrology reading, that's totally fine. What you want to do is get clear, however, on your values and what's important to you, especially since you're saying you want a brand new life. You need to do some revisiting of your values, what's important to you, what people are important to you, the people who are in your life, or what types of people are important to you. This is important because when you change your life, that means even the people in your life may change. So you want to get clear first. And one of the ways to do this is looking at your values. In addition to values, look at your life that has already gone by. What have you done with your life? What things have occurred? What is it about your life that you actually want to change? Once you figure that out, then you can set up a strategy to change your life. Once you know where you want to go, you set up a strategy and you implement that. I would suggest not doing that alone. I would suggest working with a coach, working with a psychotherapist, working with an astrologer, but somebody who can team with you to help you figure out the strategy here. I would not do it alone. I'm not, of course, able to tell you what you need to do as far as what strategy is going to work for you because I don't know you. The information that I have given you hopefully will give you ideas on how you can go about coming up with the strategy. And as I said, my suggestion, reach out to someone who can have a one-on-one with you to help you with this. Thank you for sending the question in, and I wish you all the best. Please be sure to let me know what changes you have made in your life. All right, let's move on to the topic for today. And our life renewal topic is the soul's compass. Why your why is more important than your what this year. This is a pivotal year because astrologically we're dealing with fire and air versus earth and water. And fire and air is about action. It is fast. It can burn, of course, because we're talking about fire, but it's also creative. Fire is the first element in creativity. So there's going to be lots of creative ideas and thoughts coming through because we're also dealing with air, and that's the mind. So you're going to want to create a new life or create different aspects of your life, recreate different aspects of your life. This is a year, as I said, it's going to be fast and furious. When I say the why is important, the why is important because if you don't answer that question, that's the underlying question before the what it is you actually want to do. Why do you want to do what you want to do? What's behind it? What's your intention? Intention is 9/10 of the law. Your intention is what is going to keep you going. It's going to give you the energy you need to stay the course when things get tough. For example, if you want to run a marathon, why do you want to run a marathon? Are you proving something to yourself, to somebody else? It's important to know because when you're having to get up early in the morning or run or exercise, you need to know the why to do it. If you don't, you can fall off the wagon and actually not do it. So get clear. Think about your intentions behind everything that you want to do and make sure that those intentions are altruistic. They can't be because somebody else wants you to achieve a goal. It has to be because you want it. It's really important. All right, let's move on to the second question for today. And the second question comes from Ryan, who is in Miami, Florida. And Ryan says, I've spent years doing what I'm supposed to do, and now I feel empty. I want to make a real impact this year. What reflections can help me align my daily actions with my deeper values? This is a really good question, Ryan. And I'm glad that you asked it. And I'm glad that this is something that you're thinking about at the beginning of January. When you're thinking about your values, think about the people in your life who respect your values, who have honored your values. And think about the people who haven't and what has occurred with those relationships. How have your values not been upheld by others? And how have you allowed others to treat you? Because we're constantly teaching people how to treat us. If someone does something that you don't like, you have to make a decision on whether or not you say something or not. Now, there are times when it's best not to say anything. However, if somebody is doing something that goes against your values, you have to make a decision whether you're going to speak up or not. And if you don't speak up, why? Contemplate that. Contemplate how you have honored yourself. Contemplate how you've not honored yourself. And reevaluate how you've lived your life. Reevaluate your values, because sometimes values need to be updated too. Sometimes you encounter situations that make you think about your values and whether a particular value is appropriate. In any case, when you go down memory lane, make sure that you have pen and paper out when you are going through your life and write out the things that were important to you and why they were important, events that have happened. Why were they important to you? When you think about values, this is a pivotal year to think about them because we are coming up on a particular astrological aspect that is happening on February 20th, where our dreams and reality are coming together. So if there is something that you want to do this year and you're dreaming about it, you will have the opportunity to not only work on those dreams, but to actually manifest them this year. I'll talk about this particular configuration as we get closer to the actual date, but we're in January and your dreams are extremely important. So you want to get clear on what they are. Get clear on them now. Okay, thank you for that question. Be sure to comment below and let me know how you're getting on. Let me know what it is you are changing in your life. And be sure to like and subscribe to this YouTube channel if you haven't already. This really does help with the algorithms. If you want to send a question to me, send them to padmacoach@icloud.com. That's padmacoach@icloud.com. If you would like to learn more about the services I offer, please check out my website, padmalifecoaching.com. I also have a book, And the Lotus Opened, a memoir. That book can be found anywhere online books are sold. In it, I talk about the issues that I've had in my life and how I worked through them so that I don't carry them anymore. The intention is to give you the roadmap that I use to work through my own trauma in hopes that it inspires you to do the same for yourself, because you do not have to carry trauma for years, decades. It doesn't serve you. If you're interested in a deeper dive into the topics that I talk about here on this YouTube channel, check out my Substack page. On it, I talk about astrology, life coaching. I do a deeper dive into these episodes over there in writing. So please be sure to check out the Substack page. Once again, thank you. Thank you very much for spending your time with me on this channel. I'll see you back here next week. Bye-bye.